Hey, hey, hey. Time for another Out of This World story from rSpace. Your soulmate is supposed to be that one missing puzzle piece in your life. The one you've been looking for all along. Today on rSpace, just when you think the picture is perfect, you discover that someone else has been playing with the pieces behind your back, rearranging them into a whole different picture altogether. Up first, OP finds a digital novel on his wife's phone full of extramarital communications. I feel so lost right now. I, male 38, have been with my wife, female 28, for 9 years and married for the last 3. I loved her more than life itself, and we had a great relationship. She was my best friend and my soulmate. Just last week, I saw a questionable text message on her phone, which led me to discover a text thread 29,000 texts long. Turns out she's been having an affair for almost 2 years on and off with a coworker. 2 years. I saw unspeakable messages and pictures, and I've been totally destroyed. She was telling him she loved him and that they had a deep connection, etc. I feel so alone and have no one to talk to. She's been staying at her parents since I told her to get out of the house we own together. We had one sit down where we talked for about an hour, and she wants to try to save our relationship. She wants to begin marriage counseling and says she's cut off all contact with the other guy. She says she's willing to install trackers on her phone and whatnot, but I don't want to play prison warden with someone I should trust. She has apologized profusely, but how can I trust anything she says? I told her I need to be alone and that I'm not sure I can be strong enough to even try to reconcile. She told me she is resigning from her job to show she's serious. It's a very prestigious position that is coveted. I was able to find out the other guy is married with a child and reached out to his wife today. She had no idea, and we had a bit of a cry together on the phone. It actually felt good to talk to someone, even though I felt horrible bringing her into the news of this. I don't know what to do. We have no kids, but an awesome house that would be difficult to make payments on solo. Update. She came over last night to talk. Apparently our marriage wasn't as good as I thought, as she showed me a diary she has kept for years. It was filled with times where we had issues that I brushed under the rug. I was kind of shocked as I didn't realize how long the diary was. It was almost as if I forced myself to forget the bad times. She was seeing a therapist about some issues. I always knew that. And was suicidal briefly. I did not know that. She showed me a timeline with data to back it up. The affair was on and off of the almost 2 years they were only active, about 1/3 of it. This does not excuse anything and actually makes me feel almost worse. She respects our separation but wants to avoid divorce when I brought it up. After talking, she did say she would give me a clean divorce if that's what it took to start over. FYI, we have split everything 50-50, so it wouldn't be too messy. The house is the only thing, and I've made it absolutely perfect as it was a new construction for us. She isn't going to resign, as in quit fully, but step down from a position and transfer to a new department to fully avoid the other person. It would, however, be a $30,000 pay cut. We do the same job and make nearly the same amount of money, but she has a much higher earning ceiling than I do. I think to myself, there is no way I can take her back. Then I think I absolutely should try. Then I flip again and again and again. I have no idea what to do. I signed up for an individual therapy session. I've never done anything like that, but I'm going by myself to try and get clarity. She's been staying at her parents', but that obviously won't be forever. Let's see how the community responds. First up, things I wish I had done. Go no contact for as long as you can. At least a couple of weeks. Try and take care of yourself. Go to a counselor ASAP. You need some space to process the trauma. Good move kicking her out. Good call contacting the other betrayed spouse. She deserves to know the truth. Contact a lawyer even if you decide to stay and work on it. Get some advice. Tell her you want all of the story at one time to not trickle truthing, which is like scraping a scab off of a massive flesh wound. She just set off a nuclear bomb in your life, so you need some time to process everything. I'm sorry you guys are going through this, but you will get through it. Someone else chimes in. 2-year affair and she was telling him she loved him, and she only admitted it after getting caught. It's over, OP. She doesn't love you. Marriage to you is her security. The other man is married with a child and not really available to her, but she has been in love with him for 2 years. If you were single or divorced, do you think she'd be trying to save your marriage? You need to ask yourself that honestly. You got with her when she was only about 19 and you were about 29. That's a pretty big maturity gap, and that can create a lot of issues. It's a much bigger problem than if a 38-year-old started a relationship with a 28-year-old, because in the latter case, both parties have typically been independent adults for several years and have typically been in serious relationships with other people before. Not so when the younger party is only about 19. Another community member wants to say this: there's something important that every married cheating victim needs to know. Getting a divorce and choosing whether to give her a second chance are not the same thing and the same decision. Regardless of whether you want to never see her again or try to fix your relationship, you should divorce her. You need to protect yourself, and you also need to make sure she's committed to you and the relationship, and not to avoiding the consequences of losing her legal status as your wife. If she actually wants to fix things, she will be willing to give you an easy and fast divorce. You yourself said that you thought she was your soulmate and things were great. She cheated on you the majority of your marriage without you knowing. You can't trust that she isn't lying and protecting herself now. One more person wants to say, first off, I am so sorry this happened to you. Deep down, you know what to do. She was cheating on you for over 2 years. That is not someone that is remorseful for cheating on you. Rather, she is sorry that she got caught. Had you not caught her when you did, it would have still been going on. Contact divorce lawyers and please get tested to ensure she did not give you anything due to her actions. Also, please make sure she doesn't quit her job. It will make things much more difficult in divorce proceedings. I hope you find peace. Discovering a 29,000 text thread? That's like finding the entire Harry Potter series in SMS format, except instead of magic, it's full of lies and betrayal. And let's talk about her resignation plan. Quitting her job to avoid temptation? Yeah, whatever. As for her diary, cry me a river. Congratulations, you just stumbled upon the director's cut of your own marriage, complete with deleted scenes and bonus features. She may be offering a clean divorce now, but remember, just because the dishes look clean doesn't mean they're not covered in betrayal residue. You deserve more than a spouse who treats your trust like a game of Jenga, pulling out one block at a time until everything comes crashing down. So take those individual therapy sessions like shots of truth serum and find your clarity. And remember, when life hands you lemons, you don't make lemonade, you squeeze those suckers into the eyes of anyone who tries to deceive you again. What do you make of this? Up next, OP's doorbell camera had enough of his cheating girlfriend's lies and excuses. Our breakup was cover for an affair that wrecked 2 lives. We've been together for 8 years, moved to a new state, perfect couple, planned to get married, yada yada. And she, 30 female, broke up with me, 34 male, a month ago. At the time, she had lied about the reason, giving all the excuses about how I wasn't right for her or good enough. I believed it and was ready to just move on. I came back to get my things to move out and be done. But out of the blue, a mutual friend, Kathy, reached out saying we need to talk. Come to find out, Kathy had been in the dark about everything after her husband left her. Kathy knew me, through social media, that I wasn't with my ex anymore, and my breakup happened the same day her husband left her. We started piecing together the real story of the past month. What really happened? Kathy and her husband got married. Me and my ex were in the wedding party. My ex and her new husband started getting chummy, messaging all that. They met for secret dinners. Then, that's when they respectively broke up with me and Kathy. They were married for 2 weeks, and they hid this mutual breakup from us. What's worse, she got diagnosed with cancer right between wedding and breakup. You can't write this crap. It's worse too, because while they had a wedding, they never signed legal documents and papers, so there's no legal tie for her. At this point, I had went back to live with family for a few weeks, and unbeknownst to me, they were coming over to our house and doing who the F knows. She covered the doorbell cam, but my Echo Dot still caught him using voice commands. All the circumstantial evidence points to them having an affair. Now, they don't know we know. We want to confront them. I don't know what I want out of the conversation, but have so many questions. I want revenge. I want to at least calmly ask her to come clean, and then I'm out the door for good. We're selling the house anyway. I want to publicly post my experience and humiliate her. I want to warn all of her future relationships that this will happen to them too. My biggest gripe is how she tried to make this right for herself using a technicality. If she breaks up with me before they start screwing, it's not cheating. I disagree. It started when you set eyes on him at his wedding and you tried to make me feel the guilty party. Shame on you. You ruined my life. You ruined 2 people's lives now, one of which has cancer and needed the support from her husband. Eat rocks. I'll never trust her again. Thanks. Update. Firstly, thank you to all who supported me through my last post. Looking back, I was in the darkest place of my life, and a lot of people came out to keep me from self-destructing with revenge. My God, though, I get a lot of us are in the same emotional place, but for future readers, posters, please be aware that there is a bad advice on this sub. It's hard to help when we're in a hole together. A confrontation. Kathy, the wife of the affair husband, and I, male 34, decided to confront separately, but at the same time, with the two affair partners returned from their honeymoon. Before then, I moved all my stuff out of our house and into an apartment before relocating to my parents' home. Furniture items I couldn't take were given to our neighbor, whom my ex loathed. I got this all out just before my ex returned, and I could just enjoy the confrontation day from the comfort of my hotel. When it came time, Kathy initiated the event. She needed to confront her ex-husband in person and work out how she would return after moving out to get her cancer treatments and help with boxing. It sounded like it was somewhat friendly. At the same time, I simply sent my ex 2 texts. Utilities are shutting off in a few days. Kathy's husband was going to move in when I moved out, and I have zero trust. The warning was only for my ex's cat I loved. I know what you did and what you are. Don't talk to me again. Then waited for the old typing bubble when she started replying to block her. Everywhere. That night, I finally got more than 4 hours of sleep. The next day, my ex tried to reach out through our doorbell camera. Fortunately, she dramatically waited so long that when she spoke, all she got out was, "I don't lie," before the recording hit its max length. Appropriate. Emotional aftermath. Since putting some distance between me and my ex, I have been feeling better on the day-to-day. I have better sleep, even though every night is a nightmare about her. We were together 8 years, so I have profound grief about the life I thought we had, and the life I thought we would have. This was so out of character for her, and I keep looking for mistakes I made, though I know she chose this. Kathy has since moved to her parents. I checked in with her now and then, because she's been through much more than I ever did during this. Definitely a lot more grief, with more anger towards my ex than her husband. I don't blame her. She may not feel it, but I think she's improving since also getting distance. Relationship postmortem. I've done the friendship touring and trauma sharing, and through this found great support. I'm grateful for as well as discovery about who I thought my ex was. Through mutual friends and her past exes, I've since found a lot of red flags I missed. What she did to me, what she did to her prior ex. I was somewhat aware of the circumstances, though there were some misleading elements to it, though I definitely ignored her secrecy of me during our early dating. Apparently, during our 8 years together, she still occasionally reached out to her ex, begging for him back and stalking him. In addition, she would weave narratives to make her falling outs with friends and her exes make her look better. There were many other ignored red flags like transactional relationships issues and severe guilting. Trickle post confrontation news. Words from mutuals. My ex has already crafted her narrative. She didn't cheat. She moved on fast. Ha! The husband broke up before they got married. Legally, yes. Socially, no. There are pictures of his wedding. I didn't do anything for the relationship for 8 years, so I deserved it. This is a whole other trauma post. I've already told the people I care about knowing, but it seems like cracks are already forming on her end. People are asking questions about her new relationship at work. My ex and her boy toy are coworkers too, since I'm sure they all know Kathy's husband got married months ago. I'm ready to move on in time. I have a ton of plans for my future, and honestly, this could be the best thing that ever happened to me. I'll grieve this for a long time, but I will be in a much better place than my ex in the end. I'm staying busy, my career is promising, and I had all the emotional stability of our relationship. I don't know if I'll update again, but thank you guys for the support. I gotta hand it to you, OP. You handled the aftermath like a pro. Moving out, cutting off contact, and giving her the "I know what you did and I'm out of here" text message treatment. That's some grade A closure right there. And the fact that she got cut off mid-denial by her doorbell camera? Classic. But let's talk about her post-breakup narrative. She moved on fast? Yeah, like a speeding bullet right into someone else's wedding vows. And he broke up before they got married? Sure, if by broke up you mean plotted to break up two unsuspecting souls while standing at the altar. And don't even get me started on the whole "I didn't do anything for the relationship for 8 years so I deserved it" nonsense. That's like saying someone deserved to get hit by a meteor because they forgot to water the plants once. As for your ex's attempts to save face, Well, let's just say her web of lies is starting to unravel faster than a sweater in a room full of kittens. People are starting to ask questions, and soon enough, her house of cards will come crashing down around her. Meanwhile, you'll be sipping cocktails on the deck of the SS New Beginnings, watching the sunset on a horizon filled with endless possibilities. So here's to leaving the drama behind and stepping into a future filled with nothing but blue skies and smooth sailing. And if your ex ever tries to crawl back into your life, just remember, you're the captain of your own ship, and you're setting a course for happiness, no matter what storms may come your way. Cheers to new beginnings and brighter tomorrows. What do you think? What would you have done? Thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you next time.